Noticed that you can't have half a neutron, so how do we get a mass number of 35.5? And the answer to that is we have things called isotopes. Now, an element is always made up of one type of atom, but there's more than one different form of that atom in an element. Because whilst an atom must always have the same number of protons, they may have different numbers of neutrons. So here's an example. We have here carbon, which will have 6 protons, but could have a mass number of 12. How many neutrons do we have if we have a mass number of 12?
6.
6, exactly, very good. What happens if I have a mass number of 13?
7.
Therefore I must have 7 neutrons. There we go. So the atomic number will always be the same, but the mass number can change.
Wait, so what's that? So the mass is
Yeah, because you can have different numbers of neutrons in an atom, then the mass number will change, but the atomic number must stay the same.
so still the same chemical.
Yes, it's still the same element, yes. Now, if the atomic number was to change, then you would have a different element. And the elemental symbol would change as well. Great. So, most elements can actually contain a mixture of isotopes.
I'm writing.
Now, in terms of their chemical reactions, the isotopes are virtually identical because it's the number of protons and number of electrons that affects the chemical reactivity.
6, 6, 6.
Now, neutrons, because they don't have a charge, they make very little difference to their chemical properties. But they do affect things like the melting point and density.
So these are basically different types of carbon.
Yes, basically. Now, in nature, when we find our elements, they're often a different mixture of isotopes. And we show the abundance of these different isotopes by the relative atomic mass.
Man.
So, and relative atomic mass stands for, is abbreviated to RAM.
Man.
Yes. And for chlorine, that was 35.5. So, chlorine has 2 isotopes. Chlorine 35, which is 75% in abundance, and chlorine 37, which is 25% in abundance. How do we then get 35.5?
Average.
Yeah, what you do is you multiply 35 by 75% or 0.75, and you add it to 37 times 0.25.
Why do you say that?
This is what it comes out in nature.
So 35 divided by
So when you find
75.
chlorine, 25% of the atoms of chlorine in nature are chlorine 37, 75% of them are chlorine 35. Sorry? It will say, depending on the periodic table you look at, it will have a mass of 35.5.
Wait, how do you find it? 35 times?
Yeah, 35 times 0.75, and you
0.75.
add that to 37 times 0.25.
Oh, okay. Why is it not?